Today we're talking about one of my favorite things, Googie. Googie is a style born in the mid-20th century. It's mid-century modern with an extra let's have fun attitude about it. Let's break some rules. Conveniently enough, it gets its name from this restaurant, designed in 1949 and built in Hollywood, California. It was built on Sunset Boulevard, right next to Schwab's drugstore, the place where Lana Turner was said to have been discovered perched on a stool at the soda counter. But Googie is more than architecture. You'll see it in graphics, signs, and sometimes even in product design, all of which we explore in other videos. I think what I like best about Googie is its persistent optimism. It hangs there balanced in a perfect place, being all about a future brighter and better than anything seen before, without tracing the elements of that future to their more problematic conclusions. Googie is design on the move, in cars and jets and even in space. It sees only the positivity in the car culture, not the smog or the fact that we've covered our cities in asphalt. It sees only promise in the atom, not nuclear winter. And the space age is an adventure rather than a coping with inhospitable planets or just a new high-tech way to make war. You could say that Googie is naive. Like Peter Pan, it refuses to grow up. To me, the spirit of Googie is so positive that every time I see an example of that spirit, I am lifted up. One of the great things about Googie is that you don't have to own it. In fact, in many cases, you can't own it. Like my facetious video about collecting wooden escalators, collecting Googie comes down to spotting it wherever you find it, and enjoying it in the moment. I guess you could say it's like bird watching. You don't need or even want to possess the birds. It's enough to see them, to be open to the possibility of spotting an interesting specimen, and to enjoy the moment when you do. If you get a picture or a video of it, so much the better. Well, I guess you could own a car wash or a 50s motel. I guess somebody has to. But for most of us, just enjoying the way a Googie encounter brightens one's day is enough. Try as I might, I have been unable to collect this Bob's Big Boy in Toluca Lake, California. But I'm happy that somebody did, and I can go there and see it and photograph it. Have someone take my picture with the big boy, and have the original double-decker hamburger with a chocolate malt. And what happened to the original Googies? Well, as this 1973 photo of Schwab's shows, Googie somehow became the Sunset Steak and Stein. Later, in the 1980s, it and Schwab's next door were demolished. Today, this monstrosity now sits on the corner of Sunset and Crescent Heights. There's not a trace of Googies on that site, but if you look around elsewhere, there are traces of Googie all over the place, even in your town. Many of today's Googie finds along the roadside are remnants, pieces of old buildings standing empty or cheaply repurposed by some artless merchant. In another video, we look at some length at this roadside remnant I stumbled across while hanging my camcorder out the window in 1989. Do you know what this is? You can find sign remnants, too, signs that get repurposed, sometimes in almost comic ignorance of what they once were. Still, I like looking at those remnants and trying to figure out what once was there. And sometimes I even find old photos of what was once there. If this makes no sense to you, you're probably like one of those tourists who goes to Greece and visits the Acropolis and says, "Gee, this place is a mess." Googie was about the future. These days, we seem to be more interested in dystopian futures than in what Googie offered. Googie didn't seek to divide us. It was for everybody. For 36 easy payments, anyone could drive a rocket sled. For the price of a cup of coffee, one thin dime, you could occupy an orange stool at the counter or even a cushy booth inside a palace of modernism. The future, in other words, was here. And it was great. Today's version of the future, as conjured up in our current pop culture, seems in comparison bleak. Its human inhabitants powerless and desperate. Our only hope for even having a future seems always to be in the hands of some kind of superhero. Why that dynamic is so prevalent in our entertainments has for a long time eluded me. But I think I understand it now. I think the idea of widespread dystopia for the masses and the exceptional hyper-individual superhero savior is just a grooming exercise. Authoritarians have been given the gift of this narrative by the hacks who produce these pop culture entertainments. These authoritarians need only follow directions, foster at every turn a divisive, cruel world, and then cast themselves as our superhero saviors. If you're perceptive enough, you can see this being done to varying degrees every day. As for me, I don't trust authoritarians or superheroes. I much prefer the democracy of Googie, where the future is in all of our hands, collectively, democratically, a bright future shared by all of us together.